So welcome to SourceSifterr. The first thing you're going to do is toggle up to the right-hand side of your page where you see this SourceSifterr icon. So you click on that and you're going to open a new tab and project. So this was a previous project that I've been working on, but I'm going to start a new one. I'm going to call it Wedding Reception. For my dressing items, I'm going to set it at 10,000. And I'm having the measurements kept in Imperial, and then the categories that I want to have for my tracker and budget sheet. So I'm going to choose furniture. I'm going to choose greenery and maybe some candles. Okay, and I'm going to create a project. That's going to take a few seconds, and what that's doing is it's creating your SourceSifterr folder in your Google Drive, and inside that is where you'll find your tracker and you'll also find your slides presentation. So if I head over to my Drive, you can see here that I have my SourceSifterr folder. So I'm just going to click on this. You can see I have my previous project and then my new wedding reception project. If I click on this, you'll see I have my Google Slides presentation, and then I also have my tracker sheet. So now that we've got this, we can actually start looking for our products. So just heading over to Amazon, and I'm going to be looking for some furniture. So for the sake of it, I'm just going to choose these white Eames chairs. So right now the category I want it to be is in furniture. I want to capture this page. So I simply click on this button to capture the page. And again, what that's going to do is going to take a few seconds. It is pulling the price. It is also pulling the image, and it's going to pull any other notes. As you can see, so the chairs have been pulled here. It's got the price there, $69.99, and then the dimensions that we can see down here at the 18, 16, and 32.8. And then I'm going to add it to my tracker. So now that it's added to my tracker, I can view my tracker. And you can see here that everything is here. So my subcategories of furniture, greenery, and candles. I've got my chairs there. I've got the dimensions. I've got the price, and I've also got a link which takes you back to the product page. So now what I want to do is I want to pull this image over to my Google Slides presentation simply by clicking on this Publish to Deck. And again, that's going to take a couple of seconds. And now I'm going to view my presentation, and what you can see here is your presentation has been named. So your wedding reception, you can go in afterwards and add any of your branding, any of your clients' branding. We have my categories as furniture, and then we've also got the chairs that have been added here. So I'm actually going to edit my categories. So if I go back over to my tracker, I can change the color of these. So right now greenery is in pink, but I think I actually want it to be in green. Candles, I kind of want them to be in gold. So I'm just going to save the changes, and those colors will be automatically updated. We also have this color palette here, which we can obviously choose from. So now I'm going to go back to Amazon, and I'm going to have a look for gold candles. So I kind of like this one. So clicking on here, again, I'm going to go down to my candles category. I'm going to capture this page. And again, it's going to take a few seconds just to update the information. So let's see how that comes out. And here it is. Here are your candles. So again, we've got $29.99. We've got the dimensions there, 3 inches by 4 inches. And then you can add any other notes. So I'm just going to do 72 hours of burn time. Okay, so that's added to my notes. I'm going to add it to my tracker. I'm going to publish it to my deck. So now if I go back up to my tracker, you can see here in the candles section, I've got the name, I've got the image, I've got the dimensions, and then, you can actually start to play around with the totals. And the good thing is about this is this bar across the top here tells you how much you're going over your budget. So as you can see, I set my budget for 10,000. Right now I'm well within my budget, but say if I was to change this to 1,000, as you change the quantity to 12, you can see here that it automatically updates it to tell you the overage of your budget. And then if I go over to my presentation and I go down to my candles section, you can see that my candles has been added here. So just going to find one more product. Okay, so I'm going to do my plants. And this works for any website, just so this video doesn't go on forever. I'm just using Amazon for the sake of it. I'm going to choose this one here. This obviously has a background to it, whereas the other ones had a white background. So I'm just going to see how that one captures. So now I'm going to go to greenery, going to capture this page. The dimensions there, you've got the pricing. And you can keep looking for items as this is processing. You can see here that you've got the plant, but say you wanted to keep the background, you would actually just click on this here and it would use the image for you. Making sure it's in greenery, I've got the pricing there, and then I've obviously got the dimensions of the product itself. Anything else I want to add? I don't think so. So I'm going to add it to my tracker. That's going, and I'm going to publish it to my deck. So now if I go up to here, you can see that you've got the original image. You've obviously got the price, the total, and then the link back to it as well. And now if I go over to my presentation and I scroll down to the greenery section, my product is there. So now say, for example, a client wants to send you a product and they send it to you manually. We do have a feature that you can actually add the information yourself. So you would just click add manually to greenery. I'm actually going to change to furniture because I know the client sent me a chair. I'm just going to call it by chair. Price, I'm say 400. Dimensions 36 inches by 36 inches. Notes, I know that it's a rental, so I'm going to rental, and then I'm going to click on here and I'm going to find the chair and open it up. And again, that's going to take a few seconds just for it to process. And it will pop up in here. Great. And I'm now going to add it to my tracker and then publish it to my presentation as well. So now you can see that, you might have seen it in the corner here. You saw that the chair actually popped in. So if I go over to here, you can see that the chair is here. And then we've also got it in our presentation here. So one more thing, say you feel that you've got too many products on one page and you want to start a new page, you simply just need to go back. So I'm going to choose another white chair. I'm going to choose the desk chair. You never know, people might want to work at a wedding. And I'm going to say furniture, and then I'm going to capture this page. So again, that's taking all the information for you. And I'm actually going to start this item on a new slide. So everything's there, you've got the dimensions again, and I'm going to add it to the tracker. I'm going to publish it to my deck. And then I'm going to go back to here, and you can see here that it's actually created a divide, so new page. So you might, for example, if you have furniture, but inside that you want to have subcategories, you call it office furniture. And then I'm going to, publish it to my deck. So if I go to publish deck, you can see here that I now have my office chair on a separate page to this. And that pretty much concludes how easy it is to use SourceSifterr. So it should and will speed up the process of sourcing your decorative items, inputting the images, inputting the information, and ultimately just making everything a lot more streamlined, talking to itself. Oh, and the best bit is if I take you back over to here. So again, we have our slides and we also have our tracker, but even better, so every single image that you have in your presentation is also populated into your project folder, and so they don't get lost. So for some reason, if anything happens to any of the items, they accidentally get deleted, you can be assured that they're all kept here. And that concludes the tour of SourceSifterr. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or Ercole Automations, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.